Barney, Scout, and Sandy Frodo Mann are legendary names in the thru hiking community. From bagging their own experiences along the great trails of North America to helping thousands of others prep and begin their journeys of a lifetime along the Pacific Crest Trail, or PCT, they're no strangers to the beauty and difficulties that the world of thru hiking has to offer. So much so that Scout decided to write a book about it. Ever heard of Journeys North before? This will be the first half of a 2-part episode. Today we cover the origins and bonds that Scout and Frodo share, their thru hiking tales, what they've done to spread the joy of hiking, and even how Frodo knocked out her 2 front teeth on the PCT. The second half of this episode airs next week on Monday. I'm one of your hosts, Yeti Legs, and you're listening to the Yeti Walks into Base Camp Talking Thru Hiking podcast, a show for hikers, backpackers, thru hikers, tree huggers, and anyone who just loves to walk outside. We're a hiking podcast with a goal to make the outdoors more accessible for all of you by telling stories, sharing information, and having folks on that offer advice, gear, and peace of mind. We also like to talk about environmental topics and what's happening on our planet. Knowledge is power, and as lovers of the great outdoors, we want all of us to feel a bit more empowered. A huge thanks to Sawyer Products, Leave Outdoors, and Jolly Gear for sponsoring this episode. Listen through to win some free hiking swag from Leave Outdoors. All right, let's hit the trail. What's going on? Tramily? Trambam?
Hey guys.
It's good to see you, or I guess good to have you hear us.
Yeah.
Because we can't see you.
Hello. Welcome to our podcast.
Yeti.
Walks into Base Camp. I'm Base Camp.
And I'm Yeti Legs. We're your hosts.
Yeah, we're your hosts. We are a married couple. We love thru hiking. We love adventuring. We love hiking with our dog, backpacking. And now we're expecting our little one to go backpacking with and, include in our adventures.
Yeah. I don't think we've told anyone, but we have a gender. So it's a boy. You want to tell them what the name is?
Monty James is what we are leaning
Monty
towards.
James.
Which means the one who takes the mountain.
Monty James Black. It's the same initials as you.
MJB.
MJB.
Yeah. So that's what's happening in our world.
Exactly.
But we're really excited. We're actually doing an interview today
with some of our heroes / inspirers for thru hiking.
Truly. These people were so excited about this interview. I could not believe when they responded and said they wanted to do it. I was literally giddy, like a little girl.
It was kind of a big deal because you reach out to a lot of like really big hikers in the community and they just won't even read your message. And so they don't even know that you exist. So I was really shocked when I got a response from Barney Mann, aka Scout, author of Journeys North, one of the first thru hiking books that we ever read / listened to. So today we're talking to Scout. We're just going to call y'all by your trail names. We're talking to Scout and Frodo. We're so happy to have y'all here.
And Frodo is his wife for everyone who, just so you know, to give context.
Oh,
so
definitely.
Scout and Frodo, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
You bet. And I think it's better said that I'm her husband.
No.
Not that she's my wife.
I would have to agree
Take
because
that.
At this point in life, I couldn't live without Marie because she is so like intertwined in my day to day. I would crumble and fall apart.
Oh.
It's true.
That's very sweet. I think you'd find a way.
Especially because she cleans my pot whenever we go backpacking. And I really hate cleaning my pot. So that's huge.
If all of you out there could see us right now, I would point the two of us and say, this is what 48 years married looks like.
It's beautiful.
Congratulations. That's
49.
Coming up on 49.
That's huge. So you're going to be celebrating 50 next year then?
Yeah.
Are you going to do anything special for 50?
We're talking about 2 parties. I have a 96-year-old mother. And actually, I shouldn't say this because I haven't told our kids yet. But I'm really hoping Mom's out in Santa Monica on the other coast. We just moved here to Maryland to be close to our grandkids and kids. I'm hoping the kids, our 3 kids who live here, and the grandkids will all fly out to be together with Mom as one of the 2 parties for our 50th.
Oh.
So we anticipate a party back in San Diego where we lived for 40 5 years. Wow.
Yeah.
And then one here in Maryland for people that we're getting to know now.
So if any of you know our kids, don't tell them about that because I haven't asked them.
We won't.
We won't say anything.
This will come out a couple months from now. So
Yeah, so they should
have time
already
to break
know.
the news.
Yeah. That's so you guys did. I remember for those who don't know that listen to this podcast, Scout and Frodo would host PCT hikers, and it was so unfortunate when we did it. I think you guys weren't hosting people that year. It was in 22. And so we weren't able to meet you in person because I totally would have jumped on that in a second.
Oh yeah.
We did host in 22.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but we required people to be vaccinated.
We were vaccinated.
We were.
It was a shorter window. I
Yeah.
think it was 30 or 45 days instead of the full 3 months of.
That might have been. We started March 6th, so we started really early in the season. So that could have also been a part of it as well.
That was it, period.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just remember you guys made an announcement, I think on Facebook and kind of in the social media threads, that you were shutting down the San Diego, PCT thing. And is it because you moved to Maryland? Is that kind of why that stopped?
Well, we've been doing it for almost 20 years. And we had announced 2020 was going to be our last year. Because at some point, we do get a little bit older. And at some point, it is time to move on. In 2019, we literally had over 1,300 people stay at our house.
Ooh.
35 to 45 a night for close to 90 days.
That's a lot.
And we said, all right, we'll go out. We'll go out while we're still enjoying this.
Yeah.
Some of you folks may have been to Trail Angels, so you can tell,
They don't have as much patience as they ought to have.
and we never wanted to be that. But on March 15th, 2020, with over 1,200 people signed up, the whole COVID world collapsed on us. I remember it was 6 o'clock when we looked at each other, having consulted with doctors and
epidemiologists,
and said, we just can't do this. We'd gotten a sneeze bar set up and industrial grade hand washing stations, and it just became, obviously it was impossible. We sent an email at 6 o'clock that night, Sunday.
Well, and also they had banned travel from Europe.
Right, and they banned travel from Europe.
Yeah.
We had people still, a father and his son in Belgium, 12-year-old. They'd gotten on a plane the day before the full ban, and they showed up in our front yard, and all we could do was stand 12 feet away from them and say, here's the stuff you ordered, and it's yours. We love you, and good luck.
Oh my gosh.
Sad time.
That's hard.
So 2020, we didn't host. 2021, it still didn't make sense. So I drowned my sorrows by hiking the Arizona Trail. And 2022, there was a window, and it was fun. Remember, we announced, I think, early January, there was a window. We said, we can do this. We'll lower the number of people.
We'll have nobody in the house except to use the restroom.
Ask the people test, literally, they'll come in, we'll have a little testing station and deal with it there. And it was so much fun. We posted and said that...
no, we didn't test that year. We just required vaccination.
Oh, right. Remember, we said that at 9 o'clock one morning, you can start signing up. And we sat there and we watched. Within 10 minutes, 200 people had signed up to stay with us.
Not surprising.
Not surprising at all. Yeah. Wow.
And that was supposedly our last year. We had a party at the end of it. And the following...
But we had made some changes so that we didn't have to work quite as hard, especially me. The change we made for 2022 was that the city was providing a shuttle from the airport to Old Town Transit Center. And from Old Town Transit Center, that was a free shuttle. And then from there, they could take a cheap bus to within a few blocks of our house. So we didn't have to go and pick everybody up at the airport or the train station. I had spent a whole lot of time every night figuring out, 2 days hence, how am I going to group people and putting the information out there for everybody. So we changed that, and that made it easier. And then we decided to go ahead and do it again.
Yeah, we got in fall, we got thank you letters. It wasn't just thank you. It was saying, just like you said, Marie, that we'd had a real positive impact on their hike. And in a few cases that really saved them. They heard Frodo's voice in her head saying, make wise decisions. And he said that I didn't want to turn around or I didn't want to do X. And they went and took the safe step. So we looked at each other and said, all right, one more year.
Yeah, but the problem was that there was a shuttle service that had started up in 2022 because they thought we had retired. Everybody thought we retired. We thought we retired for a while. And that was Dee and Paul Milosh. And they had a great service. They were doing everything right. They had the right insurance, the right licenses. They set everything up really well. And so now we're stepping on their toes. And so we said, we'll just do it this 1 year. So then after that season, when we were getting all these thank you letters and thinking about it again and decided to continue, we said, but we told Paul and Dee that we wouldn't be doing it again. So then we said, what we can do is have them pick up the hikers and take the hikers to the trailhead rather than having, 5 cars out in our cul-de-sacs at 6 o'clock in the morning. And that made things way easier.
Yeah. So they would stop at our house twice a day. It was a great relationship. And as it reached end of May 2024, when we actually really were going to quit that time, a couple days before our last day, I counted up how many hikers we'd had over the years. We have every year, you can only do this if the back end is really solid. I mean, we have spreadsheets and all that stuff, so we can have time.
Eventually, yeah.
And literally, it was latish on the night when I took the tally. We were at 7,999.
Oh.
Which meant that next morning, whoever walked in the door
would be 8,000.
The 8,000th.
I made a medal that was modeled after the Pacific Crest Trail Association's medal, and put 8,000th hiker on it and a nice ribbon on it. And the next day, 2 ladies walked in. And I said, one of you is our 8,000th hiker. And Gal pointed to the other. We made a fuss of her. And what's neat is at the end of her hike, and she did finish, she sent us a photo of her with the medal around her neck at the Northern Monument.
She carried it.
It's pretty cool.
That is really powerful. I mean, that's huge.
You've probably made so much of a positive impact in so many people's lives, not only by...
Seriously.
I'm sure you offer backpacking advice and as far as what they should pack and what they should take out of their packs and send back home. But 8,000 people, that's a lot of opportunity for impact. You definitely hear back from these people. You get photos. I'm sure you get cards. I'm sure you get other things from them. What is some of the reward that you have gotten back personally? It could be physical or just, knowing that you made some positive good.
Absolutely priceless.
Yeah.
To have the opportunity at a cusp of their life when they are anxious, excited, and scared out of mind, and to give them a place where for 24, 48 hours, they're there with a hug. No one's asking the question, well, why are you doing this? Mm-hmm. Everyone there has done the same thing. They're surrounded. Instead of starting as so many people used to, you walk the Northern Monument, and here I am myself, because no one else. The Southern Monument, and I'm starting. They get to leave with the community.
Yeah, they've already started to build their community and gotten to know people and come to realize that they're not crazy. And
yeah.
So yeah, I would say that the best reward are the emails and letters we get.
Yeah.
There was one couple in the Netherlands who contacted us and said, we're having a baby and it's a boy and we're going to name, his middle name is going to be Scout.
Oh.
Whoa.
How do you feel about the middle name not being Frodo?
Don't make it Frodo. Yeah. Good Lord. I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
It's one of many times that I found tears welling to my eyes because of finding out in some way that the two of us have affected a hiker.
Well, and let's just talk through then your book. So what year exactly was the book released again?
2020, summer.
Okay.
Height of the first big COVID season.
Wow. Okay. So then we read it just the year following. I didn't realize that. I think from there, if you want to tell everybody, I have a few questions from the book that I'd love to pick both of your brains on. I just remember so vividly some of the stories you guys told from that book. But before that, let's get into just who you guys are. Your names, again, just say your names and whether it's your real name or trail name. And then also kind of what is your through hiking or just backpacking experience?
Okay, I'll go first. So I'm Sandy Mann. I'm currently 67 years old. I started backpacking when I was fairly young. I guess I was 16. My brothers were in Boy Scouts and they got to go backpacking, and I was really jealous. So I looked for opportunities. And I met Scout when I was 17. Actually, I think I started when I was 15. And I met Scout, and I like to say that if he hadn't been a backpacker at the time, I probably wouldn't have given him the time of day.
I'm lucky.
You are.
I feel you on that too.
Yeah. We moved to we lived in Eugene while Barney was going to law school, and I was an undergraduate because he's a little older than I. We moved to San Diego for me to go to grad school. I have my PhD in molecular biology. Did research for a number of years, but I had 3 kids while I was a graduate student and didn't want to spend the kind of time it would take to be a professor, which had been the original goal. So we have 3 children, and they're all married, and they all live in the DC area. And 2 of them have kids, and we love our grandkids to pieces. So we moved out here to spend more time with them and be a real part of their lives.
Did you go into research with your PhD?
I was doing research for a number of years, and then I thought, what do I really want to do when I grow up? And I started teaching high school, and I taught some really smart kids. I got to teach in the local high school. I taught AP biology and advanced biology and regular biology, got to work with really amazing kids, coached Science Olympiad and Academic League, so I got to see some of these kids grow from freshmen up to seniors when they're really coming into their own, and that was just delightful. I feel like that was a very valuable thing to do.
There's a common thread here, the nurturing thread. You're both nurturers.
Yeah, there too, she would hear from kids' parents or kids later on, Dr. Mann, before I took your class, I was going to be X, and now I'm, you really
I'm a graduate student in biology.
Right, and you really opened my eyes to science.
So yeah, I was Dr. Mann, and to my Science Olympiad students, because he coached some Science Olympiad events, and he was Mr. Dr. Mann.
Yeah. I see what, okay.
That's
We'd
amazing.
have kids over the house all the time. At 11 o'clock at night, if she hadn't come to bed yet, she was downstairs baking cookies or cupcakes or muffins for 150 students to bring the next morning.
Wow. And while raising children.
I didn't go into teaching until our son had graduated high school. No,
Okay.
I take that back. No, until our son was in high school and our other kids were in middle school. And
Yes.
Raising teenagers, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Which still feels like, a whole new world.
Sure.
The Jolly Gear motto is where fun meets functional, and the owner Jolly truly wears that motto on his sleeve. Blending the comfort of a button-down with the sun protection of a sun shirt, Jolly Gear creates tops and dresses from an 84% polyester, 16% spandex blend that dries quickly and offers antimicrobial properties. With color patterns like Disco Leopard, Kaleidoscope, Pool Party, and Trail Madness, you can expect only the most epic of double takes when walking by hikers on a trail with your Jolly Gear on. When we hiked the PCT in 2022, we made it to Barney Falls only to have our sun shirts literally dissolving on our bodies. We reached out to Jolly Gear and he, free of charge, expedited 2 matching Casa Orange sun shirts to us in Redding, California. We finished the trail in those shirts and still have them to this day. Marie especially loved the ponytail hole in the back of the hood that allowed for sun protection without discomfort when she wanted to stick a bun or a ponytail through it. You can snag 15% off of your order at jollygear.com by using the code YETI at checkout. That's YETI at checkout to get 15% off of your entire purchase at jollygear.com. Crafted by a thru hiker for anyone who loves to go for a walk outside, check out jollygear.com to outfit your next hike with some high personality sun protection where fun meets functional. Thank you, Jolly, for sponsoring this episode and this podcast. So you went on to hike the PCT. Have you done any other hikes together or by yourself, Frodo?
We did we did a lot of hikes when our kids were little. We really tried to make it fun for them and find a hike that wasn't too strenuous, and then have like a base camp where we could make day hikes out of there or do some fishing and try and make sure the kids had a great time. We did the John Muir Trail in 2003 to see if we can do this ultralight, long distance kind of stuff, and came out just really hooked. he's gone on to hike a whole lot of other trails. I have a foot injury that hasn't ever really been diagnosed, but I can't walk 20 miles a day after day anymore. So I hiked about 800 miles of the Continental Divide Trail with him. 800 or 600?
600.
600, sorry. And I go on, we go on hikes sometimes in the Sierras and the Cascades, but not the through hikes anymore for me.
Okay. And I want to get into what you have done here, Scout, but real quick, Frodo, I want to ask you, since you've had this injury and you're not doing these longer hikes, especially with Scout here, how has that impacted you mentally? Like, how have you coped with that?
I really wanted to do the PCT. That was a dream of mine for years. And I always thought I only had one through hike in me. So I did the best one.
You did.
You did.
And I don't have any regrets, and I feel like that, I'm good. I didn't have the drive to do more like Scout has.
I get that. I understand that.
And actually, when he did the Continental Divide Trail, I was out there with a road trek van, camper van, that we borrowed from a hiker friend of ours. Put 14,000
miles on it. One day got it stuck in the mud.
Oh, shh.
Oh?
In the mud.
Did you choose to leave that out?
And Tammy just thought it was funny. And she finally said, you've been journaling about the road trek, and it needs a trail name. So she gave it a trail name. She called it Benny.
Benny and the Jets. I love that.
Yeah, that's what it's from, yes.
And this is so trail. After we had it, I tried to, what can we pay? We have for 6 months. What can I pay? And she said, Scout, I don't want to hear any talk of that anymore. And that is just so trail in the trail world. We think almost nothing of asking of
huge favors.
A huge favor, and we think we look for every which way to grant them when we're asked. It's a different world. One of the reasons I love it. I love it out there.
Yeah.
It is
trail magic.
The only time anyone ever expects something in return is if you're asking someone else for food who's also hiking a trail. I feel like they usually want something in exchange.
You're a trade?
Yeah, always
that's
a trade.
Funny. Asking another through hiker for toilet paper or food or water.
That's risky business there.
That is risky. Yeah, that's great. Now, Scout, I know you were the one who wrote Journeys North and to tell both of your stories of the PCT. So tell us about you and also what you've through hiked.
There are so many reasons why I probably shouldn't be sitting here talking with the two of you. I was born to parents who have camped, I think, a total of 5 times in their life. Each time swore it was their last. But what they did is they took me to Boy Scout meetings. And at age 13, I went on my first 50-mile hike. I weighed maybe 80 pounds, and the pack weighed 40. I had these wonderful Scout leaders. I love saying their names again, Mr. Massey, Mr. Quinn, and Mr. Metcalf. I was a scrawny, I'm sure he's sometimes annoying young man. But these guys taught me 2 things. I didn't realize, living to my years later, my 20s, how special they were. And one, they taught me to feel at home in the outdoors. You take me right now and pop me down anywhere, middle of the woods, middle of the desert, whatever, and I largely feel at home. And I didn't realize that everyone didn't have that skill. Everyone doesn't feel that way. And the second thing they taught me was to like myself. Very, very special things. So ever since then, I've been a backpacker. It's summertime, looking ahead and where to go out, who to do it with. The two of us, Frodo and I, we never had a first date. We had a first backpack. And then I went off to law school. And then she came up and followed me. Marie, by our firstborn, we have 3. Our firstborn, by the time he turned 1, we'd taken him out backpacking 3 times. The first time, he was my parents' first grandchild, and they were appalled. You're taking our grandchild where? But God bless them. They came and they picked us up. This is in the San Jacintos. They had to drive a couple hours to pick us up. And they saw this grubby but smiling and gurgling and happy 8-month-old. And what could they say?
I mean, it's exuding pure joy.
inspiration right there. I'm going to probably pick y'all's brain when we get to that point of how to do it with little kid, little babe.
And you bet the third one we took him on, it rained all last day. And so we had a 2,000-foot descent, come the mountains, cold rain. And we basically, for rain gear for him, we tore a hole in the garbage bag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was asleep in the back in his onesie.
His speedy pajamas.
Oh, his speedy pajamas. And just sleeping and happy as a clam. And we hiked it out. And he and his wife, for their honeymoon, did the entire John Muir Trail. So I guess we raised him right.
And they now have a 2.5-year-old who just before her second birthday went on her first backpack trip with them. We were with them.
We got to help take her with them.
Yeah.
And you can read all about it in the Backpacker Magazine article that I pitched.
No way.
Yeah.
You've raised a legacy of hikers.
That's amazing. I mean, because it's one of those things where I feel like I've been like, well, we're going to take our kid with us into this world that we love and adore so much and teach them the beauty and the awe of nature and just the respect of what a tree is, and a plant and the soil even. And it's just, somebody was like, well, what if they don't like it? Like, what if they turn against it? I was like, well, I mean, we don't know. Maybe they'll go into a city one day and never look back. But while we've got them, we'll take them out as much as we can.
And I think they take their cues from you. They see that you're having a good time. They're going to, yeah. Our son takes a lot of videos and pictures and stuff. And there's videos of little Gemma walking down the trail, and she falls down and gets back up and climbs over a rock and keeps walking. And, it's just, I think it helps build resilience.
It does. That's tough stuff.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, we have a dream of wanting to take our kid on a through hike at some point when they feel ready, like the AT or something like that. At some point down the road, that's like definitely a dream.
Yeah, we haven't triple crowned. We've only done the PCT and some smaller trails.
The AZT, the CT.
Isn't it funny how we use the word only? I mean, I said,
I know.
Frodo only hiked 600 miles with me on the CDT.
Only.
People say, I'm only a section hiker. I only did 250 miles, whatever.
You're so right. You're so right. Someone else told us this just recently.
Yes. Uncle Nomad / Blueprint.
So you only did the Colorado Trail? You didn't, only 400 whatever miles? You didn't do the whole thing?
He's done it twice, actually.
Yeah.
We love the Colorado Trail. It's our home trail.
And I will say, I'm not saying only because of expectations of other hikers in the community, like the elite and all that jazz. I'm saying that because I really want to do all three.
He wants to triple crown. And so his world is only. I want to triple crown as well, by the way.
We're going to.
Whenever he goes and does something without me, I'm like, I feel so upset. I'm like, no, I want to go. So this is our dilemma, is we have to save enough money where we can both go together.
Yeah. So we're looking at real estate investments, see if that can possibly get us there.
Yeah. So Scout, tell us then what you've done in your through hiking world. I know PCT.
We need to ask about his
so let me just quickly
finish.
Go over past that 50-mile hike. I ended up UCLA. I have a degree in mathematics, of all things. Wasn't going to be a math professor till I got to see what their life was really like, and it wasn't for me. So I ran a summer camp for 3 years, up about 2 miles from the PCT near Wrightwood. So in the mountains that overlook Los Angeles, 6,000-foot level. And I'm glad I did, because not only there, we had 1,100 campers during the summer. Almost none of them paid anything. During the wintertime, I'd raise money, campership funds and so forth. And we take these kids to inner city Los Angeles, areas called East Los and Watts, so Hispanic and African American. And it was neat. They come up to the mountains first time, and most of them, if they were seeing each other back home, one of them was in deep trouble because they were in the wrong neighborhood. But here, you're in camp, you're on our turf, and you know what? Everyone's nice to each other. There's 3 meals a day. There's the pool and arts and crafts. And for a week, they take a deep breath and relax and get exposed to that. It's wonderful. But in the third year I was there, I met this lady And I went off to law school, and she went back back home. That year, if I was telling the whole story, I'd say, well, I wrote every other day. And she would say,
I wrote every day.
yeah. And then I'd say, yeah, but some of yours were cards. Mine were all letters. And I asked her to marry me over the phone at the end of the first year of law school. And she didn't answer, because here's what I'd asked. I know I'm digressing. Here's what I asked. I was a law student, right? Words are very important to me, and I thought about it. I'm going to ask this young woman to marry me over the phone. And the exact words I told her, first I said, are you standing? And she said yes, because we should always be on the same level. And then I said, I want you to be my wife.
Notice there's no question mark at the end of that.
That's
so
a statement.
Will you be my
silence? And then I finally said, well, you can take your time. And she said, no, when? But it wasn't a question. We got married a year later.
She was being respectful of the sentence structure.
Finished law school, worked two legal jobs for close to years. And then I got bit with bit real hard with writing a next great American novel.
Which was a courtroom drama.
Which is a courtroom drama. And I spent 3 years
Wait,
dealing
really?
Seriously. We lived like paupers, church mice. Our living room furniture consisted of 2 pillows that she sewed.
Huge pillows.
Huge pillows. And I was on fire. Finished first novel of the year. I had interest in New York. I had 2 women write back, 2-page, single space, how they wanted to change. And I was late 20s, and I said, so I'm not going to do that. I had no idea how valuable what I had received was. And after 3 years, we had our first child. And
at that point, we were living off my stipend as a graduate student, which was not much.
Not much. And I realized it was time. I'd given it my all, and got back in the legal profession. We bought our first piece of new furniture, which was a crib, and had a 25-year legal career in San Diego, a small firm. If we were on trail, you'd ask, what kind of lawyer were you, Scott? And I'd answer, I was a kind lawyer. And now those 2 words fight with each other, don't they?
Yes.
And we could spend the next 2,000-foot climb, and I'd unpack it for you and regale of his stories, but we're not going to do that right now. So 15 years ago when I retired, the most important thing about that day was a Friday, 2009. My partner of 20-some-odd years called me, law partner. Someone's actually getting out. They're retiring. And Steve said, Barney, what are you thinking today? And I said, Steve, I haven't thought about it at all. 2 o'clock today is my first deadline for Backpacker magazine. And that's all that's been on my mind. In the last 15 years, as she would say, I'm busier than I was as a lawyer. And I've had the blessing of being able to publish a lot of places. I still write regularly for Backpacker. Have 3 books out, and especially the kind of book I always wanted to write, which was a story that would move people. They put it down and feel positively about themselves and their lives, motivate them. They'd laugh and cry, and that was Journeys North. That's my life story.
That's a beautiful life story. And you're wearing a smile while you're saying it, so you're definitely happy where life has taken you.
Yeah.
And with the choices that you've made.
Yeah, and even with the drama or some dramatic setbacks, and we've had a few, I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
Especially you.
Oh, brownie
Oh,
points.
that was good. I love that.
That's beautiful.
Wow. Thanks, y'all, for sharing. It's really amazing to hear such a beautiful, intricate backstory. Because reading the book, for those of you who have never read Journeys North that listen to this podcast, you really need to go and read this book. It will be so entertaining. You'll be captivated by these stories. And Scout does such an incredible job, like bringing his and Frodo's perspective into this story, but also other people and other, like the family that they build through the story. And you really just fall in love with these characters. I call them characters because it's a book, but they are real people. And it's the one book, not that the other books weren't great that we read and listened to, but it was the one that got me so excited about doing the BCT actually. And just the idea of building a tramily, getting to experience these things together, because we were looking for books where it was couples, married couples that had, gone and done the PCT specifically together. And we were a newly married couple. We had only been married, I think, 2 years almost at this point, or a year and a half. So we're like, this is like our honeymoon. And so
You might know the name Sawyer when it comes to water filtration. Marie and I have used the Sawyer Squeeze water filter since pretty much when we started backpacking. But did you know they offer far more to hikers than just clean water? Yep. Sawyer also packs bug and sun protection. I'm talking permethrin treatment not only for your clothes and gear that can last up to 6 weeks, which is a long time, but also for your doggos. They also have a picaridin spray or lotion you can directly apply to your skin. It's derived from a natural compound found in the pepper plant, which means less worries for your health and the environment. To keep that beautiful skin protected from UV rays, there's a 30 SPF sunscreen to complete your protection from the elements. Tick season, mosquitoes, biting flies, and long sunny days are in your summer hiking forecast, so why not get out there a bit more prepared? Hike on over to Sawyer.com and plug in the code Yeti Basecamp, all one word. That's YETI BASECAMP to get 20% off of your entire order to get you prepped for the hikes ahead. Thanks, Sawyer. You rock.
So your book I can still remember details of that book. And there's something you said in that book, Scout, that when we were doing the PCT, I think it's what kept me going the entire trail. And we truly didn't break our footpath that whole trail. And I say that with a beautiful amount of just proud of us kind of feeling, like we were able to continue on when it got really hard, and we didn't give up. But there's something you said in one part that stuck out to me. And you said, don't ever not feel pain. You're always going to feel pain out there. It's not going to stop. And the sooner you can accept that, and the sooner you can understand that, you'll keep going. And don't give up because of the pain of every day, but learn the difference between injured pain and your day-to-day pain. And that, I think, helped me so much just within the first month, just realizing, oh, my feet always hurt and my muscles always feel sore when we first wake up. And that just will never go away, but it'll eventually, I won't even think about it as I'm looking at this beautiful vista in front of me, or we're having a beautiful moment that we're sharing that will never go away. It's always going to be forever in our memories now, these stories we have and this tramily we've built, because we're still best friends with all these people we built in our tramily. And so that was just one big piece of the book that I think really helped me, just ground me through the process of the PCT, that there's hard times and there's beautiful times, but keep going until you feel like you can. And that just, I don't know, it just resonated with me. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Giveaway alert.
It's cold outside. And you know what I love?
Being warm?
I love being warm.
Yes, you do. You know what else I love, and I know you love too? Not having a back-breaking load of weight on your back. And you know how you get that?
You know what helps that?
Leave outdoors.
Because they have a very lightweight, I call them mid layers, that if it's super cold outside, I will mid layer it with my puffy. And Cameron, who actually runs the company, and his family, does these epic alpha hoodies. He has a 60, a 90, and a 120. And so all of them are for different types of terrain, weather, and temperatures.
And he also does beanies. He does a hiking sun shirt now. And he's got a super ultra hyper lightweight jacket, which you should go and check out.
Amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
And we have a discount code for them. And so if you go to Leave Outdoors website, you get a discount code of
10% if you plug in Yeti Walks into Basecamp, all one word, at checkout. Cameron does have a lot of promotions internally as well. So the promos don't stack. So definitely use the one that's going to get you the most discount, but you always have this one to fall back on.
And if you are able to, if there's any comment section or anywhere inside of your shipping order, if you can just let him know that Yeti Legs and Basecamp sent you, we would be greatly appreciative.
To that, we are giving away a little care package from Cameron. Thank you, Cameron, for sponsoring this podcast and our episode. We want to hear what your most interesting animal or wildlife encounter is when on a trail. So shoot us an email with that. If you're the first person to email us that story, you'll be a care package winner, and we will coordinate with you via email, get you the right sizes and everything for that care package.
Recently, we had a listener reach out and talk about identity and how they have done all these different things and they've done all these other thru hikes, but they don't identify as a thru hiker or as a golfer or all these other things. And so I'm just curious to hear what you would say about this. How do you identify yourselves? Who are you? Are you a married couple? Are you thru hikers? Or are you trail angels? Are you all these things?
I feel we are many things.
Yeah.
And in fact, I know that because we have left over the past year or two some significant things that are who I am. And how do I feel about that? We're no longer trail angels. And that was a significant slice of our life. One aspect we haven't talked about is since my thru hike in 2007, I've had the honor and privilege to give back by serving on the board of Pacific Crest Trail Association, the board of the Cotton Divide Trail Coalition, the board of a mighty nonprofit you probably never heard of, which is the umbrella for all the national trails called the Partnership for the National Trail System. Served each 8 or 9 years, was its board president. I just turned out of the last one. And how do I feel about that? If I've been intricately involved in lobbying for and see and help nudge along significant plans to affect our trails, and that's I've left that. How do I feel about that? To say I'm a thru hiker or I'm a writer, these are all the significant, not just, these are significant pieces of who I am. I'm a grandfather. Give me a break. We had all 3 of our grandkids from 2 family sleepover last Friday, and then Sunday, the 2 grandsons did. For the first time ever, they've had problems sleeping in the same room, and they did it here. The mother came over the next day to pick them up, and she saw that they'd slept in the same room. She said, "Wow, how'd you guys do that?" I'm a lot of people. How would you answer the question, Sandy?
So I like to say we're co-adventurers.
Ooh, I like that.
Because, an adventure doesn't have... adventures aren't just hikes or trips. They can also be moving across the country. They can also be figuring out how to be the best grandparents we can be. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Taking that.
We've really...
Co-adventures.
Dude, we are co-adventurers. I love that. We've really tried to stop, identifying as quote unquote thru hikers, and we're just people that like to go walking outside, because there's kind of, there's a level of elitism and there's a hierarchy in this thru hiking world. And the same person we mentioned earlier, Uncle Nomad or Blueprint, he's like, he brought this subject and this issue to our attention. And so we've really been trying to deconstruct that and change like the way we speak about hiking, because it really is, regardless of the duration, it's a walk outside.
So you've hit on a hot point for me. So I'm chair of the Pacific Crest Trail Association. I get many opportunities to speak. And one thing I was hyper aware of, this is not all about the thru hiker. And we like to talk about something. This is about that is just the tiniest tip of the iceberg, and they're not gods. This is about folks who hike a section, weekenders. This is someone who picnics there, someone who drives by and literally sees a little sign, I'm crossing Pacific Crest Trail, and they feel for a moment the magic. This is about the dreamers, so much more so. We are lucky, and in fact, it's a self-indulgent thing.
It is
that we get the thru hike. I always try and be very aware of that and make sure that I'm not just speaking to long distance hikers when I get book talks. In fact, a couple times earlier in this podcast, I was almost about to say what I'm going to say now. Folks, just walk from your house to the park.
Yes.
Just get outside, whether it's for 15 minutes, go out right now. It's springtime here when I'm talking to you. Go outside and look at the crocuses blooming and appreciate for a moment. I had someone, I had a radio 5 minutes, and I included that. And everyone reached out the next day, say, Scout, I walked to my park. I lived in this neighborhood for 20 years. I talked to 2 new people I never talked to before. We are different when we walk. We were born to walk. We behave differently. We feel different about ourselves. We tend to smile. When I came back from my through hike, one of the changes I noticed after a few weeks was I went back to working that town. Why are people smiling at me? This feels a little bit odd. And then I realized, wait a second, I'm meeting people in the eye, and I'm wearing a small smile myself, which is not the norm. You go down and walk a sidewalk in your downtown, local downtown, you'll see people, most of it avoiding eyes, no one's smiling, looking up, something's interesting, looking something down. Just take a little walk tomorrow that you wouldn't have done otherwise. And I'll feel good that I spent the time this afternoon, the 2 of us, and with the 2 of you, talking about hiking.
Nailed it.
You got me teary.
Nailed it.
No, it's good. It's something that we're really passionate about, people just getting outside. It doesn't have to be a trail even. It can just be on the sidewalk and just breathing the air, listening to the birds. There is something that recalibrates in our brains when we do that. And I think we get so passionate. It's why we started the podcast. We just wanted to tell our PCT story and get people outside and get people to know how incredible and beautiful life can be when you just get outside and listen to the sounds of nature. It has a voice, it has a heartbeat. And so I just love that. That's piggybacking off what you're saying and yes, and so
we both feel very strongly about conservation as well, but you can't shove conservation down someone's throat when they don't even have an opportunity to get outside.
Or an understanding.
Environmental inequity is a problem. So that's why we try to just push for folks to get outside. Because if you love something, you'll want to protect it a little bit more, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing that.
I'm going back to something that happened in the book because I have a question for Frodo. Because when I was doing the PCT, I was like, I'm so scared I'm going to do this. There's a part where you tripped and fell and hit your teeth. And did the 2 front, I can't remember now because it's been years, but didn't they both come out or you had to go to the dentist?
No, so I tripped on this tiny, tiny sticking out of the ground rock. And I fell down just really fast like a tree. And I landed on my teeth against another rock. And I didn't get any other scratches or anything on myself. And my 2 upper front teeth, one came part way out, most of the way out, and the other one broke in half. So we were about a day's hike out of Ashland, and we had a friend who was behind us who caught up, whose mom was going to pick him up in Ashland. And we had met her before. She was great. And so he called her, and she drove up this bad dirt road to come pick us up and get us into town to the emergency room. And they said, oh, you're never going to see a dentist, because that's why they're dentists and not doctors, is they don't want to be on call. But they did have somebody on call who turns out was a Boy Scout leader. And he had us meet him at his office, which was just across the street from where the hikers all hang out. And at like 9 o'clock at night, we got out of there, but he rebuilt the one and shoved the thing back in the other and built a little kind of plastic bridge between them. And it's all good now.
When he finished, every time I was his assistant, he'd hold the slide, Scout. He worked for 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours in this. And when every time I try and abjectly, thank this man and basically bend down and kiss his feet, he at least said, I know this is not fun for you, but all week long I do fillings and crowns and root canals. This is creative. I'm having fun.
And the story actually continues, because when Scout wrote the book and told this story, after the book came out, he wanted to get a copy of it to this dentist as a kind of a thank you. And he'd retired from his practice, but I was able to get an email address for him. And what was interesting was he said, well, my mother lives in northern San Diego County, and I was visiting her one time and read a newspaper story about you guys. And I thought, oh, I know this couple. And I really meant to get in touch with you then. He said, I've been wanting to thank you because you rekindled my interest in backpacking. And he's now done the John Muir Trail with his kids and his grandkids. He's done it a couple of times. So that was really cool to hear that some good came out of that.
when we left this office, he said the repairing the two teeth and this bridge, tooth color bridge he'd put across it. He said it could last for days, weeks, months, or maybe years. And when you see her smile right now, that's Dr. Layer's work this many years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, it's still holding strong.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And you got him outside just because you messed up your two front teeth.
Yeah.
What a wild story.
And I'll tell you, this was right after we crossed the border into Oregon, and so we had a lot of really wonderful stuff behind us. We also had a lot more in front of us, and my feet were really hurting, and I was thinking, geez, do I really have it in me to finish this? And then when I broke my teeth and I thought, oh, is this going to take me off the trail? I was really upset, which is good for me to realize that I truly wanted to stay on the trail and finish the hike.
It showed you what was inside. Oh, wow. Wow. Thanks for sharing that. That's wild. Because after hearing that story, there would be times where I'd be like, don't trip, or I'd trip and I'd be like, fall on my hands. I don't want my front teeth to get hurt.
And to wrap up, I want to emphasize what you said. It's about the strong relationships you have in the community, because the last few trails that we have hiked in the off season, and we had each other and we had our dog. But what we were, sorely lacking, and we didn't realize this until after the fact, is that we missed the trail community component of these trails. And it just felt lonely out there, even though we were hiking with each other. So there's definitely something to be said for that.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for being on our show. We really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, thank you. It means the world to me, just that you guys took the time to do this and entertain us.
It's fun for us too.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening to this episode. We hope you enjoyed our interview with Scout and Frodo. It was an absolute just treat to get to have them on. So we hope you enjoyed it too.
Definitely. You should go check out a copy of Journeys North. You can find the physical book, or you can find the audiobook if you like to listen while you're driving.
Or hiking.
Also a good option. Thank you so much to The Fire What's Lost for our intro and our outro music. We really appreciate you, Anders, for letting us use your track for going on 2 years now. That track's called Appalachian Trail.
And if you guys have any tales, we're doing a new segment called Trail Tells. And we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear your crazy stories. It can be scary. It can be funny. It can be a poop story. It can be a throw up story. It can be a food story. It can be any story you want. We would love to tell it on the podcast. So you can send that in to yetiwalksintobasecamp@gmail.com, and we will put that into our next Trail Tells episode.
Yes, we would love to hear from you. And with that, just like we were talking to Scout and Frodo about, we're all just doing a hike, a backpacking trip, whatever your identity is, just remember that at the end of the day, we're all just walking. Hey everyone, Yeti Legs here. We just wanted to let you know that here at Yeti Walks into Base Camp, we do not use AI for any of our editing, recording, social media, or image generation. Everything is done by hand by our team, and that's how we want it to stay. The use of AI has detrimental effects on our environment, and we want no part of it. So we hope you enjoyed this episode that was hand edited by our team with talent and integrity.